Hey everyone, and welcome to your Airdrie real estate market update for November 2022. We have some really interesting data to go through this month, and it might get a little bit geeky, but I like the numbers, and if you like these updates, then I'd imagine that you probably like the numbers too. But first, before we get started, please hit that like button. We had 143 sales in October, so let's try to get 143 likes on this video. It's a long shot, but let's see if we can make it happen. And also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our new weekly videos every week about Airdrie. All right, well, let's pull up the Airdrie market graphic here for October. 143 sales within the month, which just slightly outpaced new listings where we saw 142 within the month. Inventory is down to 210 active listings to start November, which gives us just about 1.47 months supply in the market right now. Now, of course, this is just a blanket snapshot of our numbers. So let's break each of these down a little bit, and then we'll move into the different styles of homes and the prices in our market. Let's start with the sales. 143 sales is no small feat for an October here in Airdrie. That's tied for third highest for October sales ever, and we did that with less available inventory than every other year except for 2021. Now, moving on to the new listings for the month, 142 new listings is the fewest we've seen all year in a single month so far, and it also marks the first month of 2022 that we've seen more sales than those new listings. If you take a look at this chart, you'll see our sales and new listings for each month. New listings has been higher than sales every single month, even when things were going crazy in the spring. But October, you'll see, marks the first month where that's switched around. Wherever you see more sales than new listings, you know that you're gonna see inventory coming down quite a bit. Which will bring us to our inventory, where we saw it come down to 210 listings to start November. This is a massive drop from the 260 we had to start October with. Now, it is common to see inventory come down at this time of the year, but it's not common to see nearly a 20% reduction in a single month. As you can see on this chart here, historically speaking, our inventory for this time of year is still very low as compared to past years. Now, what does a solid sales number, low new listings, and dropping inventory mean? Well, it means that we've got a low month supply. 1.47 months supply has come down from 1.77 months last month. And if you've been watching these videos, you know that since the spring, our months supply has been trending up a little bit every single month. And we actually haven't seen our months supply go down since January. And we all know what happened earlier this year with our market then. Now, just based on these numbers, we definitely are seeing some changes in our market right now, but they aren't what you'd expect by reading the headlines in the news. Our market definitely tightened up this month and technically became more of a seller's market now than we've had all summer. Now, before you get on your keyboards and start blasting me in the comments saying that we're nowhere near the seller's market that we were in earlier this year, I'm just talking about the summer from July to September. Of course, in the spring, it was an insane seller's market, and we're definitely nowhere near that craziness right now. But if I am going to tell you that the market has tightened up a little bit more this month, then I better show you some numbers that support that. So let's look at some stats on our detached homes first, and then we'll touch on some prices for our other styles of homes here in Airdrie. And the reason I'm going to speak more on the detached homes is because they account for 60% of the sales in our market and tend to be the style that we can see the trends in first. Now, similar to the overall numbers, detached homes saw just slightly more sales than new listings in October, which is also the first time that that's happened this year as well. If you remember back in spring, our average sales price was about 105% of the list price, and that number has been coming down every month since March. And last month we were sitting at an average sale price of 98.5% of the list price. This month is the first month that we've seen that actually come up a bit since March. We came up 0.4%, and now we're at an average sale price of 98.9% on detached homes. Now, seeing that bump up in average sales prices compared to the list price can mean a couple things. One, it could mean that list prices have dropped closer to the expected sales price, or it could be that sales prices have come up a little bit due to the demand and shortage of listings. Now, I'd say in this case, it's probably a little bit of a combination of both. Now, granted, it is just a small change, just 0.4%, but it's in the opposite direction that we've seen for the past 6 months, so it is worth looking at. Alright, now let's take a look at the price changes for all different styles of homes. Our detached homes that we were talking about are currently up 16% year over year still, with a benchmark price of $554,000. This price is down from last month by 0.5%. Now remember that we have been averaging about 1 to 1.5% down per month recently, so the price drops seem to be slowing down a little bit as well. Now for those semi-detached homes, we're currently up 15.3% year over year at a benchmark price of $428,000, which is also down about 0.5% compared to last month. Now this is where it gets a little interesting. For the townhomes, we're still above that 20% mark, currently 21.8% up year over year with a benchmark price of $314,000, and this price has actually increased since last month by 0.25%. And for our apartments in Airdrie, we're currently sitting up year over year by 19.7% at $215,000, and that puts us down compared to last month by just over 1%. So the price decreases have definitely slowed down for the time being on detached and semi-detached homes, but on townhomes they actually picked up steam in October a little bit. Now interestingly enough, the numbers are looking really similar to last fall before all the craziness happened, but we do have a really different landscape that we're working with these numbers this year. So last year, this type of setup into the fall meant that we were about to have an insane run into the spring that we've never seen before. Does this mean that we're looking at the same type of thing coming this coming spring? I don't think so, but let me explain. If we oversimplify the conditions affecting our market right now, we can look at 3 factors. The first factor being our rising interest rates. This time last year, you could get a mortgage for about 1.5%. If you're going variable, you could be under 1%. Now your fixed mortgages are around or over 5% and they're still going up. This is a factor that in theory should slow down the market and bring prices down, but in our case here in Alberta, we have some competing factors working against those interest rates. The first competing element to rising interest rates is our continued demand of out-of-province buyers. As interest rates go higher and higher and higher, more people are being priced out of places like BC and Ontario, and they're turning to Alberta as a more affordable option. And the second factor that's competing against those rising interest rates is with the uncertainty of the economic outlook right now. This makes sellers hesitant to list their homes unless they really need to, or unless they have somewhere better to go, which causes the reducing inventory that we're seeing right now. So we've got these 2 competing factors to the interest rates, and that's why we haven't seen the same price reductions that other areas in the country have seen over the last 6 months. So do I think the prices are going to skyrocket again in the spring? No, I don't. But at this point, does it look like the prices in our market will be holding stronger than I thought? That's definitely what it is looking like right now. I was expecting over 2 months supply by now, and we're back under 1.5 months, so we are holding a lot better than I thought we were going to. So if you're a possible seller in the near future, get that home ready so that you can get it listed when you feel the time is right, because there's a fair chance that we might not see a typical winter and spring cycle in our market this year. And if you're a buyer, not a whole lot changes. If you're looking to get into that home, get that pre-approval now, lock in your rate before they go up again, and when you find the right home, go for it. If you have any questions about the market at all, go ahead and comment them below or reach out to me directly and I'd be more than happy to answer them. Have a fantastic November, and we'll see you next month.